this girl can literally never be ready on time.
Monet, okay, I don't want to hear any shit because last night I was literally sitting here in full drag waiting to do a podcast at the time that you asked us to reschedule and one of us didn't answer our phone.
That is not true. Okay, I'll read the text.
Yeah, what's the
That's
what is
not true.
What is the Monet
we
text
talked
change?
about it, and then Jacob said we can just do it another day. Oh, I see. I didn't see it. Jacob texted, can you do it? No, hold on. Jacob said, can you do 11 if that works for you? I didn't even see that. I literally just opened the message. But that's not what we had said before. And Jacob can confirm.
What did you say? What did you say? Huh?
I said, also, I need to reschedule today's episode. Can we do it later, like 11 p.m. your time? And Jacob said, let me get back to you.
So you mean 11 o'clock the time that I did?
Hold on. Jacob said, let me get back to you in a little when I check in with Bob. He's asleep right now. And then I said, okay. And Jacob said, if we need to cancel, it's not the end of the world. We have a lot of other ones scheduled. I said, yes, totes. And also, I want to check in about moving tomorrow's back 1 hour, which is today.
It just sounds like you said 11 o'clock our time.
Hold on.
Okay.
Jacob said, if we have to cancel, it's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. We have enough other ones scheduled. And I said, yes, totes. Also wanted to check in about moving tomorrow's back 1 hour, which is today, which we did. And then Jacob said 8 p.m. Eastern, we can do that. I said, yeah, work. And then we had a whole other conversation about
But where did you say that it was that yesterday was that we weren't going to? Because you said 11, and then Jacob said, oh, we could cancel. You didn't say yes, let's cancel.
Yes, I said yes, totes. That means yes, we can cancel it.
No. When there's a list of things in there, and you said we could, does not say we.
No, there's not a list. There's one thing. It says we can cancel it. It's not the end of the world. We have other ones scheduled. I said yes, totally.
No, you said yes, totes, first of all. All I'm saying is, me and Jacob were sitting here at 11 o'clock waiting for your ass, but you was over there snoozing, and Colleen was probably ripping toilet paper out of the wall and shit. While your badass cat was.
I have vindicated myself. You know what?
While you're terrible.
I will post a screenshot of this on the Patreon, and the Patrons can decide for themselves what.
To be honest, Monet, your neighbor downstairs was right about you.
you know he moved. You know he moved. They moved him to another unit in the same building. Like they moved him to a unit across.
You should be like, I'm moving too. I'm moving too.
The landlord was like, this bitch is gonna be here for another couple months, so you just might as well just move, girl. And then he got his ass the fuck out of there.
What were you talking about before we went on the air about something about an away suitcase?
You need to tell me thank you.
About what money? What every away suitcase I own, I purchased it with my money.
Well, Away will be sponsoring the podcast, and they asked who can they send some promo items to. I said, oh, you can send it to Bob. No, Lance emailed both of us. He was like, hey, they can only give it to one person who would like them. And then I was like, it's no sort of my bad. You can give it to Bob. So I gave you the suitcases. Essentially. Okay,
first of all, they weren't yours to begin with. It's not like they gave it to you, then you gave it to me. You act like you gave me something of yours.
But if I was to say that I wanted them, then
you think you would have got them? You think just because you think yes. You would have been the one being like, oh, I want them, and that's the end of the discussion. How do you think things work over here at Sibling Rivalry LLC?
First of all, bitch, you didn't even know there was an email. That happened like 5 days ago. You have no idea what's going on. It was time sensitive. So number one, you've missed the window of opportunity for the suitcase. Had I not responded,
Okay, so, first of all, whether or not I know the email is there or not doesn't make it yours. Does not by default make my shit belong to you.
Yes, it does, because you don't answer. So they need to send the product to someone.
You got some nerve. Monet is really on. I thought you were sitting in a chair, but apparently you're sitting on a high horse because you are really in your ivory tower on this day, Miss Thing. I am shook.
Are you a Casey Musgraves fan? Her song is like High Horse or High Hopes.
I don't know. Are you? I don't know a lot about Casey Musgraves. The other day, I accidentally called her Casey Musgrove.
Yes, no, High Horse.
The other day, I accidentally called her Kate Musgrove because that was the name of the head of my theater department in college. So the president of the theater department, her name was Kate Musgrove, but Casey Musgraves and Kate Musgrove are always like constantly getting switched up in my head for some reason. But I remember when I was in college, Kate Musgrove gave me her futon. So I remember being like, oh my God, the head of the theater department gave me her futon, and I had it in my home.
When I was like in college, for some reason, I was obsessed with futons. I know that's a weird thing to say, but when I moved off campus my sophomore year, and like I could have bought a full size bed for my apartment, but I was like, no, I need a futon.
Does
And
that make
everyone was
sense?
like, but it was my own room. There was a whole living situation, and like we had like a living room. Like I could have had a full bed to myself, and then I had a living room. But I would like roll out my futon like every night to sleep, like a fucking dumb bitch. It was the stupidest thing.
I mean, I had a futon too, Kate Musgrave. But also, I was also obsessed with day beds. I remember being like really obsessed with a day bed and thinking it was like the coolest thing. And I was like, I either want a futon or a day bed. I just don't know which one.
And you
But
were
also-
in college, so you had a day bed and you were day drinking. So this was a nice
True.
combination.
I feel like people don't really use like day beds are so old. Like you don't see day beds. Like people
Yeah.
like and if boomers have day beds in their houses, but I loved my day bed. That shit was popping.
I know that word is not, incendiary in any way, but it just, when you say boomer, it just sounds so, when anyone says, it just sounds aggressive, the word boomer. When you like, boomers, I'm like, oh, I just feel like you're hurting someone's feelings.
Well, I think it's because Gen Zers have turned "okay boomer" into an insult in some regard.
Right.
So now it just sounds like people are being mean because they're like "okay boomer," which is one of those things where it's like, let me tell you right now, when you are the youngest, they're not Gen Zs are not the youngest generation, but they're the youngest ones who are like out in the world doing shit. Like 5-year-olds ain't popping shit. You know what I mean? But I remember when being a millennial
Stopping up
was
and
like,
popping shit.
I remember when being a millennial was like, oh, millennials,
Oh, girl.
millennials. And now it
Bitch.
sounds like now they act like we're old people, which is crazy to me.
They dragged us millennials through the mud. They are good for nothing. They went to college. They're all just sitting at home on their mama's couches, can't do shit, won't know shit, can't be shit. They all just shitting. They hated us.
And now the Gen Zers so it feels like we're like millennials are getting it from the Gen X, from the boomers and the baby boomers, and then Gen Z's are also shooting it up to the millennials, and everyone's like, "It's millennials are so It's like, look at you with your side parts and your skinny jeans," and I'm like, okay, and skinny jeans are still hot.
Well, yeah, they are, but you know, 70s is coming back. 70s fashion is coming back, bitch, and I want me some nice flare jeans, and like I wanna lose enough weight in my life where I can wear like a 70s style flare jean and a crop top and look snooch. That's what I want in my life.
You are such a Gen Z wannabe. It is. For us millennials looking at you is very... Monet's like, look at me in my middle part, in my flare boots, in my freckles that I draw on. I'm such a... Like, you're not a Gen Z, bitch. You were born... you were born in 19... Yeah, you were born in 1990. 90. You're not a Gen Z. You're a fucking millennial.
Wearing flare jeans and like having a center part wig, that is not... First of all, center part what, bitch? Center part what? The whole thing is a center part.
I'm talking about when you slap on some hair. You know, don't act new. Don't act like you did your first time on the radio show.
You swear for now we have a radio show. Bob, when we are on stereo, you cannot tell Bob this is not the Howard Stern, it's not 1999, and me and him are not Howard Stern and his Motley crew.
I'm living my little radio fantasy. Don't try to rain on my parade. I'm living I'd be like, if you are just joining us, my name is Bob.
You love it. You love to hear it. You love
It's like the thing. Listen, everyone you all get it. You all get it. You get it. You should follow us on the Stereo app. Me specifically,
yes,
Bob.
Stereo. This is Bob. They are not paying us for this episode. Well, maybe they do have an ad in this commercial in this episode. Never mind. Let me shut my fat ass mouth.
And you know what I did? I shut my fat ass up. Also, the fans I don't know when this is airing, but the fans did go. I told you, girl, they went wild because we were talking about Utica and that thing, and I was like, you can't make fun of skinny white twinks or the fans are gonna be hot.
Yeah, I don't know when this is coming out, but I do want to say something that I said that I misspoke, and I kept on saying she was fat shaming, and I sometimes in like the heat of the moment, I like be saying shit that I don't mean to say. I don't think Utica was fat shaming. I do think that Utica was doing roast jokes. Roast jokes are risque, and people say bitch, they were ageist jokes, there were sexist jokes, there were fat jokes. I don't think Utica was fat shaming. I think that she was just saying fat jokes that weren't funny, so they just felt mean. So I just wanted to say that out loud.
So you agree with what Utica said about Lonnie Love?
Well, to
agree.
be fair, when she was saying about Lonnie Love, I thought it was you. I was like envisioning you instead.
Okay,
Which you're not. You're so skinny now. Every time I see you, I'm like, who is this svelte woman?
You gagging, honey?
No, well, I have to say I've been so weird about because I'm like keto is one of those trend diets like Whole30, like paleo, like all that stuff. But you're making me a keto believer. I'm gonna try doing keto for the month of April.
Well, every diet that you do is if you stop doing it, here's the thing. I don't think these diets, any of them are particularly bad, but if you go on the diet and lose the weight and then do whatever you were doing before the diet, you're going to look the way you looked before you were on the diet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like whether it's juicing or fasting or keto or raw vegan, if you go back to what you were doing beforehand, you're going to end up looking the way you were looking beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a life change.
Yeah. So I've really decided I look at carbs completely differently now. Like I be looking at carbs like, gee, like I looked at me and Jacob were at CVS the other day and I just grabbed a little pack of sour punch. I love my little sour gummies. I love my sour gummies. I looked at the pack and I was like, there are 65 carbs in this one pack of gummies. This is wild. And I try to eat as of now, I try to eat less than 50 carbs a day. Net carbs a day.
You try to, so your total carbohydrate intake for the day every day is less than 50.
Yeah. Somewhere between, the other day I went to Bianca's place and Bianca did order pizza. And I did have some pizza. But she ordered Domino's. Bitch tried me.
Oh, your favorite pizza spot.
So I did end up eating a little bit of Domino, but that was my first time eating bread, like not non-keto bread, in probably, I don't know, 60 some odd days. Like I have been keto for a minute. And honestly, it doesn't feel
Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread, Ezra be eating that shit. That is shit too much.
I love Ezekiel bread. I think I've acquired the taste of it, but when I eat regular bread, I'm like, oh, this is so chewy. But keto bread, Ezekiel bread, if you don't know, is made out of grains and sprouts and stuff like that. So it's all nuts, and I just really enjoy the taste.
Well, you can't have sprouts and grains on keto, but. To describe Ezekiel bread to you, Ezra says that he buys Ezekiel bread because it's not good, so he won't eat the whole thing in one go. If you buy something, that's how gross Ezekiel bread is. If y'all out there wondering,
it's not gross. I think it tastes good. Child.
Well, you know what? Yeah, give your kids Ezekiel bread, see how they act. They be like, "Mom, if you don't get this shit off my goddamn plate."
You know what? When I have kids, because now I'm back in a world where I actively want children. Roberta, I feel like if my parents would have raised me in a world where they weren't buying me fucking Doritos and Cheetos and thises and that's and Kool-Aids and Capri Suns and fucking shoving that shit up they're not shoving up my fat ass mouth. It's literally
we heard the stories of your mama begging you not to ask people for food. So I got a feeling that you had a hand in this.
I bit the apple. So when I have kids, I don't want to give them that stuff. But then I feel like that's almost a little cruel. Let them live their lives. When I'm like, I don't want to unlock the door for you, baby. I want you I want you to live life. I want you to live the life. I wish I grew up enjoying. I know friends that grew up enjoying broccoli and carrots and they eat that stuff and it turned out to be good for them. They ended up in sports and they have great physiques.
I mean, I have friends who, I know people who grew up not being allowed to eat junk food. I was allowed to eat anything. I could eat whatever the fuck I wanted to eat. I remember my mom wouldn't even make me eat the same meal that the rest of the family was eating. If they made something and I didn't like it, she would just make me something different.
Work.
If they were having a bunch of roasted vegetables and I was like, I want to eat a hot dog, she would just make me hot dogs.
What a great mom. I love your mom. Can I tell you, your mom is so funny.
Martha is very funny. Martha Caldwell is a very funny lady. But I do know people who grew up like that and to this day still have an aversion to eating, quote unquote unhealthy foods. But let's talk more about that after the break.
Break me off a piece of that
Kit Kat bar, which you would not allow your children to have because you don't want your kids to eat Kit Kat bars.
I would not let my kids eat Kit Kats.
You wouldn't let your kids eat Kit? What the fuck are your kids gonna do on fucking Halloween? Don't do this to your children, Monet. Don't be like this. Don't act like that. Let your kids have candy on Halloween.
But if they eat for Halloween, then they want it on Monday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday. Then it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then it's gonna just be a cycle of fucking eating fat shit all the time, like their dad did.
It's just candy. My mind is like, it's just candy. I mean, like, for example, Jacob grew up in one of those houses where he wasn't allowed to watch TV or play video games. Like he had to play video games at his friend's house. And I remember being like, I was just able to play any video games I wanted. But now Jacob play video games all day. As soon as this podcast is done, Jacob gonna go play video games.
Yeah, and then Jacob is also in great shape. So I bet you Jacob was eating candy every day a week.
Well, Jacob's slim now. Jacob was a little thick in school. Jacob's
drag me.
Well, Jacob Bob.
Jacob was a little thick in school. Jacob acknowledged that he was a little thick back in school, but now little mama slim.
Can I just tell a really cute story? When I went to go give Bob a little surprise visit in LA, we were walking, and then Bob just grabs Jacob's butt. He's like, "Ooh, yeah, you got a little thick there, baby." And then Jacob was just laughing hysterically, which is so cute.
Jacob is a very cute little butt. Jacob is so over this conversation already. Last thing I say about Jacob. I have also recently been rethinking my hard stance on children.
Well, when we did the parenting one, you said that you were open to the idea. So
I'm open. I'm open. It's just that kids, kind of. I have a lot of thoughts and fears about kids because of you just don't know who you're gonna raise. You really think you have every say, but the world's raising your kids more than you're raising your kids, and also DNA and mDNA, Madonna, like everyone's like raising your kids. The NFL, the QVC, BET, all have a say in raising your kid as well.
Yeah.
And I just think about people I know who the parents are like, I did not raise you to be like this. I would think about Kirk Franklin. Like, have you ever read Kirk Franklin and his son lately?
Oh yeah, girl. What are your thoughts about it? Because I have my thoughts.
Honestly, I think that Kirk Franklin's son is probably an annoying piece of shit. And Kirk Franklin's probably like, fuck that little nigga. Like, I'm so annoyed. He's wealthy. His father's a multimillionaire. Like, he just did all. I mean, also, there's a chance that Kirk Franklin's also a piece of shit. But based off of the voicemail I was hearing, it just sounds like the son is just like this antagonizing little fuck. And Kirk Franklin's like, God damn it. Like, I'm really trying to be a good dad here. And honestly, sometimes your parents curse you the fuck out. I mean,
I was just about to say, bitch, if I had my old sidekick or my T-Mobile wing and the amount of voicemails that I could play of my mother cussing me out because I was doing dumb shit. I was doing stupid shit. And her only way she could repress herself, like, motherfucker, you better get your black nigga ass back to this house. Yeah. I said be home by 11 o'clock. Why it is 11:30? Where are you? Like, that's just, kids just do dumb shit.
I feel like most people are on Kirk Franklin's side. Kirk Franklin said, nigga, next time I see you, you gonna make me wanna stomp. Sorry, that really got me together. So, Mo, my first season of The Real World was Real World Hawaii, and I had such a big crush on Tech. Do you remember Tech from Real World Hawaii?
With like the blonde highlights?
I was I was obsessed with him. Like, I wanted to be him. I wanted to sleep with him. I wanted to just be around him. His name was Tech Holmes, and I just was like, I was obsessed with him. Like, obsessed.
Yeah, Tech was hot. the first season I remember seeing was the one, I think it was New Orleans, and it had a gay character. His name was like Danny.
Yeah.
Danny, right? Or Daniel, something like that.
I remember his name, but it was the same season with the Mormon girl.
Yes, and I remember he had like, this was very early 2000s, late 90s. That little beard
Soul
thing.
patch.
Yeah, the little soul patch. He had that. I remember him being so cute, but I remember being so. Like, I remember even though my brother used to watch Real World, I was so secret about watching it because there was a gay character. I'm like, if I watch the Real World with this gay character, my family's gonna know I'm gay. Isn't that crazy how queer kids are? You're like, they're gonna know.
Oh, girl, I was afraid to make eye contact with gay people. For people that, like, they'll know. But yeah, by the way, the reason I still wear hoop earrings today is because of Tech.
Really?
Like, I just thought that Tech was the sexiest and cool. Tech Holmes, if you are listening to this, I am a big fan. Bob the Drag Queen is a big fan. And if you're trying to be a busted baby, let's make it.
Bob, that is very aggressive. Right on brand.
I'm kidding. I'm not. Don't be a busted baby. But, I mean, how old is Tech these days? Tech is 45.
Ooh, 45, yeah. So Tech is, but he looks like one of those gay dudes. Actually, one of those black people that just don't age. You know, black people that just don't age.
I don't think Tech is gay. I don't think.
Not gay. I meant black. That's what I'm thinking about Danny. But Tech looks like one of those black people that just don't age. Like fucking Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett's in her what?
Yeah.
So her late 60s now.
Well, Angela Bassett's had a little bit of work done, but yeah, she looks amazing though.
Damn, why you gotta come for Angela like that?
She's 62. I'm not coming for her, but Angela Bassett has had a little bit of work done. It's good work. She looks amazing. I'm actually thinking about getting some work done.
I want to go with you. Can we get it done together?
I thought you were about to ask. I thought you were about to start making suggestions. I was about to say, "Hold on, bitch. Let me make." That's the thing. Whenever you tell someone I'm thinking about getting work done, they be like, "Oh, yo, you're thinking about this part?" And I was like, "No." Oh, this part. No. Oh, you want this? You wanted to get this done? I was like, "Bitch."
I can't.
I was talking about I was going to repaint one of my rooms, work done on my house. No, I kind of want to get this done. Like y'all, if you're not watching, if you don't pay the premium subscription, it's the gizzard. I don't have a gizzard.
You don't.
No, but this girl on TikTok did this thing. She goes, "You don't have a turkey neck. Just suck your tongue." And then she turns to the side and goes, "But I turn to the side and mine doesn't do it. Mine does not do." I was like, "Oh my God, I've lost it," because hers was like hanging, and then she did. But mine doesn't do it. Turn to the side. Turn to the side. Turn to the side. Now suck your tongue. See, yours does it. Mine does not do it. So I just want to kind of get this area. And Tina Burner, I actually want to talk to Tina about hers because Tina very publicly, I'm not outing Tina's business.
She did.
Tina very publicly got neck liposuction. And apparently, bitch, you be wide awake looking at your doctor while he looking at you.
Oh yeah, bitch.
Your doctor
Dahlia Sin's got a full lipo 360 on well, not lipo. I think she got like her back and her sides, but she got it like on camera. I was like, and she was awake. I was like, just knowing that that's going on, even though I feel no pain, I could not be able to do it. Bitch, knock me the fuck out.
Wait, Dahlia Sin?
Yes.
Dahlia Sin has a hot body. I'm not telling. I mean, obviously, do whatever you want to your body. I'm not here to tell people like. I don't. I also never one of the folks who's like, your body's great. Don't do anything to it because that's just annoying. That is annoying.
I think that
Dahlia's body is like so hot.
Oh, I think that, during COVID, a lot of us put on a lot of unwanted weight, maybe, and even though it looked good to other people, she's like, I want to.
No, speak for yourself. I wanted the weight. I welcomed it. I was happy. I was so happy to have that weight.
Yeah, look at at her, girl. She's on there sucking that shit out. Oh, I can't.
And not the doctors sucking out fat and you just y'all making eye contact, having a full conversation. I'm like, nigga, don't look me in the eye while you suck my fat out. Like this, like nigga, look at my fat. Pay attention to what the fuck you doing.
What other friends have you had on other reality shows?
Oh, I've oh my God, my only reality TV show friends are really from RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, Ashley Marie Preston and I both won. Ashley Marie Preston won Project Runway. the same year that I won RuPaul's Drag Race. So we kind of had like a little bond from that moment. I came to San Diego and to do a gig in her town. And then somehow we ended up kind of just like hanging out and meeting each other. So me and Ashley Marie Preston like kind of know each other. She was the big girl who won in 2016. And then she also recently lost like a lot of weight. Anyway, and she's Latinx. Friends from reality TV. I mean, Todrick Hall from American Idol.
But yeah, I guess that counts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any friends from other reality TV.
I mean, I know Christopher Palou from Project Runway.
Oh yeah, Christopher Palou. He's
and
worked with
Mundo. Mundo.
Mondo. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider Mondo a friend, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, me and Todrick are friends. Me and Christopher Palou know each other,
right?
And me and Mundo know each other.
Really friends with him, yeah.
And me and Ashley Marie Preston are a little closer than me and Mundo and Palou. But we talk like a few times a year. I'm like, oh my god! Like when she releases a new line, I'm like, oh my god, Ashley, this is amazing. Or if I do something, she goes, oh my god, Bob, this is like so great. But we don't kick it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think other reality TV shows. No, I mean other iterations of Drag Race, like Drag Race UK, maybe.
Yeah, all of my friends are from Drag Race who have been on reality TV shows, and they've done other reality shows. Like Alaska did, what's that show?
Celebrity Buried Alive, or Jake, if you look it up, it was like Alaska did like a show, like a Halloween themed reality, like Celebrity Scared Straight or
Almost
Buried
Famous,
Alive.
Almost Celebrity, some bullshit like
Drag
that.
them, not Almost Famous. Drag them, Monet. Drag.
No,
Wow.
It wasn't always.
It was called like D-list, whack ass celebrity niggas or something like that.
It was like I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. It's some weird. Oh my god, why can we not think of the title of this?
But I mean, it only had one season on it. It was not on and popping. It was not forever popping shit, pulling up and dropping shit. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I think Courtney Act is the as far as people I know, Courtney Act is the. Oh yeah, it was. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. I knew it.
No, that's the British one. Alaska was on one in America.
Oh, yeah. I told.
It was Alaska, Tiffany Pollard.
No, that's Celebrity Big Brother.
No, Tiffany Pollard was on the show. I'm telling you, she did the show.
Really?
Yes, I remember.
We need to figure this out.
What were you saying, Monet? Go ahead. Scared Famous. It was called Scared Famous.
I don't even know the premise of that. Were they supposed to were these like a horror show?
They were in like a haunted house, but like, and they would do like things like you'd be buried. You have to dig for bugs, or you have to be buried alive, or you have to do all these like weird things, like these weird challenges, and then people would like disappear from the house. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a few episodes.
Yeah. Courtney Act is the reality show MVP. Courtney Act has obviously been on Drag Race. Courtney Act was on Celebrity Big Brother UK, where she famously gathered this bitch on queer shit. She like gathered her girl. She like got her together. She did the Australian version of Dancing with the Stars. And is there something else? Eurovision. Courtney Act loves
Drag Race.
Why we said that already? Courtney Act loves reality TV. I mean, honestly, I think reality TV is fun. Also, once you do like one reality TV thing, it's like, bitch, it's not like a regular person going back to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause like you kind of know how it works. Like, not saying that reality TV is, it is also produced, but also being real. Like, you just know how to play the game better when you have done reality before. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, also not to mention that Courtney Act was the host of The Bi Life, which is the bisexual dating show in the UK. Do I agree? I think there are people who do reality TV and then do it a second and third time and still don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think that Tiffany Pollard is someone who has mastered reality TV. I think Tiffany Pollard, I don't think that Tiffany is that crazy and that exaggerated and that like how she plays on TV. I think that she has found the balance of balancing like her craziness, but making this character too. That's so I don't know. She is like literally a mastermind of reality TV, and she does it so well that she blurs the line so well that you don't even realize that this cannot be all the sides of her. She really makes you think it's all her.
Well, there's also like people like Tiffany probably has something in common with Trish Paytas, which is where they both kind of just take it a little too far sometimes. Like on this most recent thing where Tiffany Pollard was on the Zeus network and doing some dating show, and she was like kept calling that woman a man and being like, you have a sweaty dick and balls, and it's like she doesn't like. And Trish Paytas also does the thing where she was like, well, but you also I also don't want to necessarily say that Trish Paytas. People saying she was trolling. Trish Paytas is saying that she was like discovering her gender identity.
Chewing and crunching, bitch. This is over here.
Bitch, Jasmine Rice is the worst house guest. I've told you this 1,000. Jasmine Rice is one of the only person I've ever banned from my house twice. Anyway, like Trish Paytas was like, she said she was discovering her identity. Her gender identity, but everyone else like you're trolling the trans community. So I mean, but also I think that maybe sometimes that becoming a TV villain that you can't take it too far.
Yeah,
like, you can take it too far.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I mean, I know she has had so much controversy, but I think that. Gia Gunn, I think she does reality TV so well. I mean, say what you want about her on All Stars 4. I think Gia Gunn played a perfect villain. Just the way that she just delivers her lines. Like that whole, well, what you're gonna do is not what you wanna do. Like, just like her one-liners and just like, she's just so irreverent.
The quote was, let me quote my dear friend Gia Gunn. The quote was, well, what you wanna do isn't necessarily what you're gonna do.
Like so many things like that. Like I just think she plays reality TV very well. She's like, I'm on here to do a thing. She doesn't care about being perceived as a villain. She does not give a fuck. And I think it gets her what she wants, at least.
I don't think she does do it that well, because a big part of it is also like getting on. If you're going to be a reality TV personality, a big part of it is also like getting on other shows, working on other things, and also like coming out with some semblance of likability.
I think Gia is likable.
I think that Gia Gunn is not unlikable, but I think Gia Gunn is definitely a villain that people like to hate more than they like to like. For example, Nene Leakes is a villain people love to hate, but also like to like as well. Like, Nene Leakes is one of those first people, like, I mean, she's aggressive, she's wild, and she's mean, but I guess people don't feel like she's like, I don't know, punching down or something. I guess they feel that way.
You need to watch more Housewives of Atlanta. This last season, not the last season, the last season Nene was on, Nene got crazy, Bob. Nene was instigating.
To be fair, I've only ever watched the reunions.
Nene got wild. She started instigating fights, like literally getting physical with people. She spit on Kenya Moore. Like Nene got crazy. That's why she's not on anymore. Because Nene went from being, like you said, like someone people love to hate, but people cheered on because she was dynamic and she was pretty electric, but she just took it that extra step, and now people are like, we can't fuck with you. Like, spitting on somebody, that shit was crazy.
Why did she spit on them?
Because her and Kenya just had this thing. They were like oil and water, and they just could not get along, and they went on the strip to Greece. And Nene had just had it. It was 2 seasons ago, so I kind of forget what the actual core of the drama was. But her and Kenya have famously just had a lot of friction with each other. And it just escalated so much on this Greece trip. And then she mentioned something about Kenya. I think it's about Kenya's husband, because Kenya is going through a divorce with her husband. Well, they're not. They are. It's on and off all the time. Anyway, and Nene mentioned that, knowing that Kenya got mad. So Kenya was like getting up, and Kenya was like, I have to leave. Then Nene, they're ushering Kenya out, and Nene goes... She's like, I'll spit on you, bitch. And she spit on her.
Oh my God, that's a fight.
Oh,
that's why New York beat up. That's why New York tried to beat up Pumpkin, because she spit on her. She spit in her mouth.
Do it, slap me, bitch.
I mean, would you ever want to be a TV villain?
I would want to. It's just not in me to be a villain. I'm just not. And you and I talked about this. I am just not a villain. I don't have it in me to be this mean, rude, nasty bitch.
Who is the villain of season 10?
Well, I think people like to paint the Vixen as a villain. I do not think Vixen was a villain. I do think I know someone who came off annoying to, oh my God, it sounds so shady.
Say their name. Say their name, bitch.
No, God, it's good.
Monet, say their names. Come on. Who is the villain?
This is going to cause more drama for you. Someone who came off to like a little bit annoying to the girls and also watching the footage, Eureka. But she's so unassuming because she...
Why would that...
Because
we're on a show together?
She gonna hear she gonna hear this. She'll be like, Bob, I just really want to know why would you and Monet talk about me on your podcast like that, girl? I just really want to know, girl. I just really want to know. I thought you was my friend, Bob. So
we've had Eureka. Listen, we haven't had a lot of guests on the show. And we have had Eureka.
Yeah, and again, after the show, I think that Eureka does come off. It is a nice person, but when in the context of filming it, okay, here's the thing: why she kind of came off a little villainous to us, because Eureka did this thing where she tried to be everyone's friend, number one, but it never felt super genuine. Like it felt like she was.
Drag her.
It was like a balance of sometimes I really did I did feel like I had a genuine little bond with Eureka, but then sometimes I would question it because I'm like, are you just being my friend because you've done reality TV before, what we talked about earlier, and you kind of know how to play this thing of being someone's friend, you know what I mean? So, but maybe that's all me in my own head. I was like, is she trying to play me or does she want to be my friend? It was that. And then I didn't even see the Vixen stuff, but then watching how she instigated that fight with Vixen, and then literally in the camera, she goes, yeah, I wanted to do it on purpose just to get her mad. Like, it was like seeing stuff like that, like to the cast, again, we had group chats like season 8, and I'll be like, girl, did you see that? Like, I had no idea. So stuff like that really to us made her feel a little more villainous than I think Eureka was intending on being in the season.
I got it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Who was the villain season 8? I have my opinions. I think it was a battle between you and Derek. I think you and Derek shared that role.
How was I the villain? Who was I? I was not the villain.
Bob, you were instigating fights with judges. You literally had a scream.
Okay, do you know the difference between instigating a fight and then being in a fight? I was not instigating fights.
You instigated a fight with Lucian. Yes, you did.
I did not instigate a fight with Lucian. Lucian was giving us terrible advice, knowing that he was giving us intentionally antagonizing advice, and I called him out on it. I did not instigate. Also, instigating is usually a fight between other people. I'm instigating a thing between these two people. That's instigating. I felt like I was being antagonized, and I stood up for myself.
You instigated a fight, I'm saying, with him and your team. I feel like you were riling Lucian up.
My team wasn't fighting. I was fighting with Lucian, not my team. Thorgy and Betty were not arguing with Lucian. It was just me by myself, all alone, going one-on-one with Lucian.
And I will say, Derek did. She did push you in the whole memorable drag. I mean, in the ratchet drag thing. She did. She definitely did that. But I think Derek doesn't mind being a villain. I think that on the Vegas show, from the clips I watched, Derek was the one trying to be the fucking villain of Vegas. But I don't think Derek minds. She don't care.
Well, I was upset in that moment because I didn't like being called Ratchet, and I had just been called Ratchet on the runway, and then I got called Ratchet right there, and I was like, why? Like, stop microaggressing me. Stop calling me Ratchet. Yeah. I don't fucking like that. So I stood up for myself. But I don't think anyone thinks I was a villain of my season. I think that the two villains of my season were probably Derek Barry and Acid Betty.
Can y'all comment below if y'all think Bob had like a pseudo villain vibe? Bob's favorite word.
I did not. There is. You can even go on your Twitter and word it as nasty as you want. No one thinks I was a villain for my season.
Well, the ones that knew that you were.
I didn't win Miss Fake Ass Congeniality.
First of all, I'm the only Miss Congeniality in history of the show to be chosen by the peers, by the people that you actually compete with.
But all these
other bitches before are fake congenialities because the girls didn't choose them. The people that don't spend all their time with you chose them, so they don't have no fucking idea. Okay, in my season, the girls that spent time with me chose me as a congeniality. Get that straight.
Are you going to acknowledge to the fans that the girls actually made 2 or 3 choices for congeniality? So you may have actually never won in the fucking first place.
That is not true. Who told you that?
That is true because the girls told me they like write down your 2 choices for Miss Congeniality.
Okay, so you just said 3. Now you're saying 2. So which one is it? Is it 3 or is it 2?
I said 2 or 3. I said 2 or 3.
Well, you said 2 or 3, but now you're saying 2. So you clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just making shit up.
So you telling me if I call any girl from your season right now and ask if they wrote down one or two choices, you're gonna say that you just said it's not true. I got my finger on the dial button. Are you right now saying that's not true? Say it, bitch. A lie. I dare you to fucking lie.
Well, Bobby, I can't even.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can't even remember what I had for dinner yesterday. I don't remember. Maybe that is true. I don't remember.
Just a second ago, you were positive that didn't fucking happen. So there's a chance you never fucking won in the first place. It could have went to any fucking body. You don't fucking know if you won, bitch.
Oh my God, you're so inflammatory. Speaking of reality fights, what are some of your favorite reality TV fights? We already talked about Pumpkin in New York. One of my favorite ones, not really a fight, but it was just such an iconic moment. And Tina has a really good number featuring it. When Teresa Giudice flips the table at Real Housewives of Atlanta, that shit is so funny.
Well, the reason Tina Burner does that.
Prostitution whore!
The reason Tina Burner does that is because years ago, Tina Burner got fired from Excess Lounge, which doesn't exist anymore, for flipping a table.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Tina Burner used to come in and do Adele's Turning Tables.
I love it. She's a good listener.
Not better than Utica. I think that my favorite reality TV fight is probably. It's a toss up between Nene Leakes versus Star Jones.
Oh my God! Yes. What
on
reality
Celebrity on Celebrity Apprentice, but also Nene Leakes versus LaToya Jackson.
Oh my God!
Because Nene Leakes is like, first of all, people don't realize Nene Leakes is pretty tall for an AFAB person, a signed female at birth person.
I've met Nene. Nene is my height. Without heels
Nene's
on,
like
Nene
5'10".
is my height. Yeah.
So there's this great image of her standing on like directly over Star Jones, like looking down at Star Jones. And it's really this when Nene goes up against someone who's like bougie, they just don't know how to act. They just don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. And Star Jones is like, this is not the Real Housewives. And Nene Leakes goes, this don't have to be the Housewives. Now where's Barbara Walters?
Not how you look. That is why.
When she said, where's Barbara Walters, I fell out.
That is where Bob and I get, wow, Nene. Wow. That's where we get that from because Star Jones says to her, wow, Nene.
That's not where that's from, Monet. Wow, oh my God. Who's the
Kim
Stolziak,
sorry. But Star Jones does say, wow. And then I equate that to wow. And then
it was so it was funny because
I'm trying to remember it. Can we do it? Do you think we can do it?
Star said wow, and then Nene said wow, and then Donald Trump said wow. So it was wow, and then Nene goes wow.
Wait, I have my number that has it in it.
I had to fight.
Here we go.
This morning, Star said, "Why don't
you?"
You're
right.
Project Manager.
Then I said, "Why don't I?" Right. It's all strategic, but I get it.
It's going down. Who woke up and said you get the title to be project manager? Who? See, Mr. Jones, you pressed the last button in me, and you what you say? This is your puppet, and I'm not.
That shit is. If y'all want a good laugh, it is just type in Nene Leakes versus Star Jones Apprentice, and it will pop up on YouTube. That shit,
and it's like
so
Lil
good.
Jon and Meatloaf are just standing. Lil Jon and Meatloaf are like, what? Are like, what the fuck is going on? And Nene Leakes is just walking around. And then the one with LaToya where she bullies LaToya around.
Oh my God.
She keeps being like, why you standing there looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost? You are a very old lady. You need to play your age and not 12. You are very old, and the only reason you made it this far in the world is because your last name.
That shit. Yeah, check out Nene Leakes versus LaToya Jackson and Nene Leakes versus Star Jones. Nene is
I also love when she goes, and if you don't want to deal with me, go in the bathroom and hide. Go and hide.
Run and hide.
Not go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom and hide.
Also,
go and hide.
And to get to Bob's point, Nene Leakes is a very tall AFAB woman, and LaToya is on the opposite of that. LaToya is like 5'2". She's a tiny lady. Plus, Nene is in her heels. Girl, it's literally David versus Goliath. It's crazy.
Let me see. LaToya Jackson height. Let me see how tall LaToya Jackson is. LaToya Jackson is 5'5".
Oh.
And I mean, but Nene Leakes is taller than she is, and it's
6-inch pumps.
It really is a kiki and a tickle of a time watching watching Nene Leakes bully people around. There's just something. She's just I would never want to be on the receiving end of it.
Agreed.
If I'm being completely fair. But that shit is a fucking tickle and a half. But I mean, there's also Tiffany Pollard versus Gemma Collins.
Yes, she called Gemma Collins a fat cunt. When I was in the UK, because I'm very curious about this, because I know Americans, a lot of people love Tiffany Pollard. I still love Sibling Rivalry. You know, what she did on that show was horrible, but she did come out and apologize, and she had a whole talk with T.S. Madison about it, and it was like a whole thing. So I think hopefully she's learned her mistakes from that really transphobic shit she was saying on that show. But I used to love Tiffany Pollard for years. Like, everything she would do, I would watch it. And when I watch the best bits of Celebrity Big Brother UK season 16 with Tiffany Pollard, and she is gold on that show. But she fights with everyone. She fights with. Have you seen what she thought? David
was dead. When she thought, yeah, it was David Bowie. Yeah,
and then she ends up getting a fight with Angie Bowie, who is David Bowie's ex-wife. Her longtime husband. They were divorced, but they were still friends. Whatever, they had kids. Whatever. Her longtime spouse just died. She just put out the news, and Tiffany Pollard is berating this woman, and then they asked her to apologize. She's like, "I'm not apologizing to that old bitch. Absolutely fucking not." And it's just like, it's so...
It's wild. Do you remember years ago? This is a throwback. Irene McGee got slapped in the face by Steven from Real World Seattle.
Oh, yes.
So what happened was, the whole season, I guess that Steven had just been really irritated with Irene, and then there's a big shot of everyone like leaving the Real World.
No. Irene was leaving because she was leaving for whatever reason. Only she was leaving. Everyone else was staying, but they were waving bye to her.
And then Steven, I don't know. I do not know what. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But Steven ran down to the car.
Wait. No. First, Irene is walking down this thing, and all the people are like, "Bye, Irene." And Steven runs in the house. He comes back. He's like, "Irene, you were looking for this." He takes her teddy bear and throws it into the water. And she's like, "Okay, whatever." And then Bob.
And then she gets in the car, and I guess the teddy bear wasn't insulting enough, so he just opens the door, and she's just looking at him, and then he just reaches in and just slap. He does not slap the fight, but he hits her in the face. He assaulted her.
So crazy. But again, this is how reality show was crazy back then. Like, Real World was like doing some real shit. Like, that was, I want to say that's like one of the first reality shows, right? Would you say?
I mean, I want to say it's the first reality TV show, but like, I mean, that was like back in Real World, they didn't even fucking have an objective.
Yeah.
There was you didn't win anything. They would just take a bunch of young 20-somethings, make them work at a tanning salon, and then make them live in a very nice house. That was literally the entire. They all work at a smoothie shop, and it's a Mormon and a gay guy and a slut and like a fitness instructor, and there's like a hot guy, and they would all just live in the same. That was the entire concept, and the show was mesmerizing. Is not the word to describe how obsessed I was with. I could not watch Real World today. Nowadays, because reality TV has been so heightened, like, I mean, I think it was Mateo Lane who was like, I don't know who, I can't remember the comedian. They were like, in America, it's like, we cannot have the Great British Baking Show. In America, it's like Cupcake Wars. Like, we make even baking is like, a fight to the death. And to be honest, I like my reality TV. I try to watch British Baking Show, and I was like, this shit is boring as fuck.
No one's gonna die. What? The Bake Off is so good.
They don't win anything. They're just like, we're just here trying to fix the soggy bottom on our muffins, aren't we?
Well, what's so funny is that there's one of in the most recent, because they're not called seasons, they're called collections. In the most recent collection, the series,
you I don't know who's more British, you or Michelle Visage. Tell me after this break.
In the most recent series of it, they had to do a thing where they had to like bake and like create like famous people, so like David Bowie and not David, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, all these people, whatever. And this guy, I mean, he was just so bad at baking, and like he creates this thing and he is presenting it to the judges. Bob, when I tell you, it's supposed to be like a sculpture looking cake of Freddie, I think either David Bowie or Freddie Mercury. It looks like this, okay? And he gives it to the judges, and I don't know, just watching these people try to bake and fail, it's so fun.
I mean, if I want to watch people bake and fail, I watch Nailed It, where they're just always stakes. By the way, Laguna Blue and Selma just won an episode of Nailed It, by the way.
Oh, did they win it?
Yeah, they won.
Rigged. Another reality show that, honestly, when this reality show came out around the time when June was living with me in New York for like that year. Did you watch the Anna Nicole Smith show?
I did not.
I watched it. I remember she was talking about it because she loved Anna Nicole. I'm saying she loved. She's not dead. June is.
Anna Nicole Smith is dead.
No, but June is not. She loves Anna Nicole Smith.
You sound like you said she's not. Jesus.
Bob.
You're like, well, she's not. Unfortunately, she's not dead. For those you don't know, June. Anyone who's listening, June is Monet's birth mom, which is why I'm very shocked at when they feel like, well, she's not dead yet.
She loves Anna Nicole Smith, and I remember like when it came out, like she made like a whole thing, like, and I remember watching with her. And I love the Anna Nicole Smith show. She used to have this like assistant with blue hair that was so strange, and then Anna kind of spoke like this. Oh, hey Howard, and she just always looked sedated.
The black community really embraced Anna Nicole Smith for some reason. Like the black community is like, we fucks with Anna Nicole. They're like, we fucks with Anna. Do you remember even Nicki wrote it in the lyric, rest in peace to Anna Nicole Smith. Like, the black community just liked Anna Nicole Smith.
What it was, because she was this beautiful white woman that was shunned by white people because she had this scarlet letter of being this whore who married this rich man just for his money, and like a lot of people shunned her. And then, you know, black folk, people have been trying to shun us for fucking centuries now. So we're like, come on, girl, we got you over here. We like you on this side of town. And black people.
Well, then why can't? That's why I'm wondering why the black community as a whole is not on board with the queer community as a whole.
True.
Like, niggas, we know what this shit feels like. Black folks should be like, girl, I get it.
Right.
Girl, I fucking get it. I know. Yeah. I sure as hell know. So, I mean, that's why I'm like, whenever folks are now coming out against Lil Nas X, I'm like, just say you hate gay people.
Girl, but we're trying to make
it's easier if you just say out loud, I hate gay people. That's just so much easier than this, you know, loop-de-loo, here we go, loop-de-lie shit that people are doing.
Yeah. Oh my God, we cannot talk about reality TV without talking about one of the greatest reality shows of all time. Well, not greatest, but it is messy. Bad Girls Club.
What?
Bad Girls Club.
I've seen maybe one episode. It is, Bad Girls Club is if Jerry Springer was a reality TV show. It's too wild. It is.
Well, the whole purpose of the show is that you're getting these girls that are bad, like they're bad socially. Like they've either like they're known to fight a lot, or they've been incarcerated for whatever reason for aggressive things, like or they drink too much and they're violent when they get drunk. Like the whole premise of the show is bringing these violent people together and putting them under a roof. Like it's like that's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I love anger, but there's literally no objectives to the show besides it's like the Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah,
it's just causing chaos for the sake of causing chaos.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, so how many reality TV shows have you been on? Just the two?
Okay, yes, because they're two separate things, but yeah,
they are. I'm not trying to be funny. They are two separate reality TV shows. That's not a kiki. You were on two different reality TV shows. Wow, someone seems really sensitive about being on two different shows.
I'm not sensitive about it at all.
Well, then why did you go into the whole? Yes, I guess they're technically two.
Anyway, I'm actually going to film a reality TV show. I'm going to film a reality TV show tomorrow.
Name it.
No, I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to break my
then
NDA
then why would I believe you?
Bob, I don't. I'm not. I'm
Why
not. I'm
should I
not
believe
talking
you?
to you. I'm talking to my fans and friends and supporters that listen to my podcast. That's what I'm talking to.
And they're supposed to just believe you? just take your word for it. But you're not filming shit tomorrow. You ain't filming shit tomorrow.
Anyway,
how about that?
I'm going away for a week, but with COVID stuff, what's so annoying?
Where do you film? Where do you film this imaginary show? Where?
With COVID things, what's so
What city?
annoying about
What city is it
doing
going to be
these
in?
things
You
is
lying
that-
bitch. You a lying bitch. Okay, listen. You make fool like people. That's your puppet, and I'm not.
Now you pointed to Jacob that he's a puppet. That's so rude.
Now,
I'm sorry, Jacob.
Now where's Carson Kressley?
What's annoying about this stuff is that I have to go. Like I have shit to do in my life. Like I have 2 campaigns I need to like film and photograph in the next week, but I have to go and quarantine for 5 days in the city that I'm going to film this thing. It's so crazy.
Must be nice.
No,
must be nice.
We have business that we have to do that's hanging in the balance because we're trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Now, I understand. I mean, Monet didn't ask me, but I guess I'll say what reality TV shows I've been on. Monet, you should be friends with me long enough to know if I'm asking you a question, I don't care about your answer. I just want you to ask me.
People say that all the time. Do you see that comment? They're like, people literally say, Bob and they will ask a question and answer before the other one answers. I'll be like, Bob, like, what did you do today? Because I mean, for me today when I woke up,
like, nigga, if I'm asking a question, nigga, I'm not listening when you respond. Bitch, ask me. I have been on America's Got Talent. I've been on Last Comic Standing. I've been on RuPaul's Drag Race. And, of course, now I am, I don't know that I would consider We're Here a reality TV show. We call it a real life series.
Yeah, it's
but
a
I'm
reality
also
show.
now the host of, one of the hosts of We're Here. It feels different. Let me tell you right now, the thing about We're Here, it feels very interesting to be on a TV show where you know for a fact, no matter what you do, they're going to edit you nicely. I could walk into Ruston, Louisiana and be like, fuck every nigga in this motherfucking town. Y'all ain't shit. Karate kick my fucking drag daughter. And then be like, if anybody got anything funny, first of all, don't nobody look at me. Everybody point your eyes to the fucking ground right the fuck now. And they're going to edit it and be like, I walked in and gave everyone hugs. Like that. Of course, I don't do that.
Fun fact, that's what Eureka did their first city last season.
She just karate kicked me and Shangela to the ground. No. But it is interesting to be on a show that you just know for a fact. You're like, that's how I feel about the judges on Drag Race. Like on Drag Race, the judges know that they're not going to get an unfavorable edit. They just know it.
Except for when Ross, when you call someone's look crafty and the fans light your ass up on Twitter.
But that's the thing. They don't think that the editors don't think that is unfavorable. Like when Ross asked if Candy or Gottmik were throwing up gang signs. They, it wasn't with like rattlesnake music behind it.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jeffrey Boyd Chapman, girl, he's a. I see your point. Like, I don't think they thought that people would react so viciously to Jeffrey Boyd Chapman, but.
Yeah, I don't think Jeffrey Boyd Chapman got a edit that was villainous. I think that the fans don't like black people telling white people what to do with their shit.
I know, and then fans
That's
saying, but like the
here's my
difference
question.
was the fans
Across
like the difference.
Go ahead. Sorry, you go.
I think the fans is saying like the difference between Jeffrey and like Michelle is that Michelle is never that mean to the girls. I'm like, are y'all on literal crack cocaine? Michelle be letting these bitches have it. Literally, someone will walk out, and one of the most famous memes from the show is Michelle, someone wearing an outfit and them explaining it, and Michelle being like, no.
Michelle has told black girls to put on lotion. Michelle called me ratchet. I mean, like, anyway. But also, if you think about across all platforms, RuPaul's Drag Race, who are the 2 most hated judges on in across all the seasons, everything? The 2 most hated judges.
Oh, Todrick and Jeffrey Boyd Chapman.
And if you had to add one more to the list, who would it be?
One more?
RuPaul. Now, isn't it odd?
RuPaul is not hated. What are you talking about?
Girl, the fans, all they want to do is talk about RuPaul is this. She don't do her own makeup. She doesn't do this. The fans love to hate RuPaul.
I guess.
And I just find it interesting that three of the most hated judges across Drag Race and all the things are black people.
The one that I
just find that interesting.
The one that I find the funniest is that Todrick has built a career from the ground up in terms of like choreographing Beyonce, like built this empire for dancing and music and broken so many records and music and stuff like that.
Been in like 4 or 5 Broadway shows. Been in 2 West End shows.
And they're like, who is he? Who is he to like his choreo sucks. He can't dance. Like, and like who, like, why is he choreographing for like the final number? Like, he is not good. I'm like, that is so crazy.
Also, Monet, I have to say, like, Todrick always drags me because I'm always like, people don't like Todrick. Todrick's always like, Bob's always like, people hate Todrick. And I don't, that's not what I personally love Todrick Hall. I think Todrick Hall is genuinely,
I love Todrick too.
Probably my most talented friend. He can do, yeah, he's great. Way better than this. I said it. No, what I'm saying is Todrick has Todrick has so many applicable skills. He can dance. He can, like, if we call up Todrick right now and say, "Can you do a backflip?" He would be able to run and do a backflip. That's crazy to me.
I love how that is your litmus for talent. You're like, Monet, if I called Todrick and told him to do a roundhouse back handspring, roundhouse front handspring, roundhouse full twisted layout, he can do it. That's talent. Okay.
Well, he can also write a song. He can also choreograph. That nigga can probably draw. He can probably draw.
Bitch, I will write a song right now.
But can you do? Hey. Oh.
Sitting in the podcast, looking real Clodcast. I don't want what streaming to my Comcast.
You were 5 words in and you're already making up words.
Oh, says the bitch whose favorite song is "Once Upon a Time I Heard That I Was Ugly." Bitch, that's a made up word.
Ugly is a retooling of a word. we were walking down the street when they was like, "Why'd you say ugly?" And I was like, "Monet, she can't just go, once upon a time, man, I heard that I was ugly. It came from a bitch who nigga wanna fuck me." No, I guess you could. Yes, actually. That works perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
You fully can do that.
But Todrick is very talented, and it's just so crazy how they'd be like, he's not qualified to do this. Like, who is he? Blah, blah, blah. Maybe Todrick may not be the world's aficionado about drag, but
he can do a backflip.
but again, with that same token, Ross is not an aficionado of drag. Neither is Carson. Next to RuPaul, Michelle may be on the dais of the judges. Michelle may be the one who is because she was around the ballroom scene. She hanged out with drag queens a lot in the 90s. Blah blah blah. So the other 2 dudes are not aficionados of drag too. So I don't understand why they use that to disqualify Todrick from judging the queens. It's just so strange.
Total side note, you know who else is insanely talented? Patty.
Lil Patty is so talented.
Patty can sing, Patty can dance. And you know what, Monet? Patty can do a backflip.
He can. And Patty is also good at like so many like random skills. Like Patty came over to my house. I needed to put together a fucking chair for something. But it was, and I know that sounds really simple, but it was more complicated than it sounds. And Patty was like, "I bet you I can figure this out." I was like, "I bet you can't." Bitch, in 10 minutes, Patty had this shit assembled. He assembled the desk for the stem. Patty's just good. Like,
Patty can sew. Patty does cross stitching. Patty can do hair.
Yeah,
Patty's Patty is a notary public. Like he can notarize your email. Like this.
He's a justice of the peace. He's in the Peace Corps. Patty does everything. Yeah, he's really like a jack of all trades, as they say.
Oh, little Patty.
Yeah, we
our
love
sweet
Patty.
Little Patty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you what? Okay, this is I know because we're almost nearing the end. If you could go on a reality show, what is another reality show that you would go on?
I'm gonna go on Dancing with the Stars. I really want to go and dance with the stars.
I think you'll be good at Dance with the Stars. I think you'll be good because Bob is also literally the most competitive person I know. And if it meant Bob had to be up literally for 2 days memorizing his dance and rehearsing it, Bob would do it just so he can get the fucking Mirrorball trophy, so he can have it sitting on his mantle and all of his Zooms going forward. Like, yeah, I want that.
Well, I was talking to Amber Riley through text, and I was like, I was like, girl, I just watched every single one of your performances from Dancing with the Stars, and you're just Amber Riley is insane. Like, she is fucking insane. Go back.
Her.
She deserved to win Dance with the Stars so fucking hard. And I was like, I want to get on Dance with the Stars, Amber. Like,
well, I really hope that we decide to do the Survivor watchery, because I feel like after watching one season of Survivor, you want to be on Survivor.
let's do it. I mean, we had a lot of suggestions. A lot of people are saying Legendary. A lot of people are also saying Survivor. Those are the two top requests we were having so far.
Okay, I think that we should do a poll, one on Patreon,
I can take a poll.
one on Twitter, and then we'll see which one gets the most.
All right, there it is. Shablam. I mean, we should try to time out Legendary so that we are
With season 2.
we're able to. Yeah, we can watch the first episode, the first season, and then as that ends, the next season will start. Hopefully, if we can plan our life.
Yeah, well, I know they're taping season 2 now, because I've seen like the people post, like Deshaun has posted backstage stuff, and
Wow, you were really exposing them. Wow,
he's posted it on Instagram.
That was in Friends Only, because I saw it too. That was in Friends Only.
Oh, was it?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh my God! Shut up. Also, bitch, we can edit this out. Now she getting me scared. I'm like, oh shit, we're on stereo, they can hear us. So I know the season 2 is coming. So yeah, if we can time that out right, that would be great. But I want you to watch one season of Survivor, which that was a very popular suggestion. It was between those two, Legendary and Survivor. So.
And apparently Monet's like, but you got to start at season 23, which sounds bananas.
28. But all the people, they were like, Bob, Monet is right. Like, you have to watch an iconic season to see all of the fierce gameplay so you understand how it works. Even Jacob said that I'm correct.
Jacob watched Survivor? Jacob, you watched Survivor?
Bob, he told us
I
this
had a moment where I watched a lot of Survivor, and I've told you this before. I haven't seen all of it. I like about 5 years ago, I was really into Survivor, and I watched a bunch of it, but I haven't watched it recently.
That was me with Dance Moms. When I got caught in the airport one time, I was like, bitch, I'm watching Dance Moms, The House.
That's another great reality show. Abby Lee Miller, she used to get wild on those girls. You'd be like, Rebecca! Why turn your fucking foot on, Rebecca, you stupid bitch!
Jesus Christ. Well, listen, I would love to keep this going, but I have had to pee for the last 30 minutes. And you know me and my pee. Sometimes we part ways without saying goodbye. So I'm gonna go. Bye. I'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.